What do you do if you're reading a voiceover script and suddenly you come across a word that you can't pronounce? That's an interesting question. Hello, I hope you're in fine voice. Now, it's very important when you're doing an audition and even doing the job, of course, in voiceovers, that you pronounce names, company names, and people's names correctly. And often people fail in the audition because they haven't pronounced a company's name or their service or what they do correctly. And obviously it shows that perhaps you're not that interested and you couldn't care less about the company really. So it's very important to do that. But sometimes you don't know if it's a technical term or it's a company or a name you haven't heard of. You don't know how it's pronounced. Now, there is a resource which I think is rather good, and it's called Forvo, and that's spelled Forvo.com. And basically, it's a repository of people giving pronunciations that they've done themselves. So it's very much kind of user generated. So it's like a Wikipedia in a way, but for audio, for voices. And if you've got a pronunciation, a name that you know how it's pronounced, but perhaps other people don't, you record it and upload it to this site. Which is great, of course, because you've often got it from the horse's mouth, as it were. The only thing is that you have to be careful with it because it is user-generated. So, and as far as I know, it's not moderated. So you don't really know if it's a correct pronunciation, but it gives you a pretty good idea. And you may have to do a little bit of research, say, on YouTube or something to back it up. And I'll give you an example. Some time ago, I was doing a shift on Channel 4, where I was a continuity announcer, and we were introducing the film Enemy at the Gates, and it starred Rachel Weisz, and I was pretty sure it was Weisz, but I wasn't 100%. So I went on Forvo.com, and by the way, that's available as an app. It's free on the desktop, but as an app, it's priced about $2.99, but the desktop version's free. Anyway, I digress. So I went on Forvo.com and I listened to the pronunciations, and you get more than one often with popular names. And I kept pressing them, and I heard Rachel Weisz, Rachel Weisz, Rachel Weisz. All these people saying it was Weisz. And I thought, that's not true, surely. Is it? It just planted that big seed of doubt in my mind. So I thought, I'll go and double check. And I looked on YouTube and I tried to find other pronunciations, and they were varied. They were Weisz sometimes, Weisz other times. So I thought, right, I've got to go to the source, i.e. Rachel herself. And so I didn't have a number, but I looked at it. I found an interview. She was being interviewed by, I think it was David Letterman or someone. And they said to her, and how is your name pronounced? And she said, it's pronounced Rachel Weisz. So I thought, thank goodness I didn't go with a Forvo pronunciation. So be careful with it. So it is a good repository. It is a good resource for voiceover pronunciations. But it can be wrong, so a bit like Wikipedia in a sense. So treat it with caution, but it can be very useful. So always double check your pronunciations. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Look after your voice and see you next time.